Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our September Village Board meeting. If you could please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So there are agendas on the back table. If you didn't see them, they are out back there for what we have going on tonight. But at the beginning of the agenda, we start with staff reports. We have an Altamont Fire Department report that has been handed in. Paul, do you have anything else? Yeah, okay.
The August report just went out to you guys, so you guys will get it tomorrow. One good thing is we got a Home Depot grant, around $5,000, so we're gonna be buying a bunch more pumps, which we need, and some more tools for the trucks. That time of year, unfortunately, fall is here, time to have your furnaces cleaned and your chimneys cleaned and serviced. And also, one thing I forgot is the Altamont kiosk. We're gonna be participating with them in it, so I kinda need the permission to go up there that day.
Okay, so we'll add that in at the end. Will you remind me to add that at the end?
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'll make one note for your fire department, just because we won't be back here before then, that we do have the 9/11 ceremony coming up, correct, next
Yes.
Thursday? I don't think that's on here, is it?
That was last month.
It was, but since there's people here, I just
Yep,
figured I'd
great.
remind everybody that that is an annual where we honor those that were lost during 9/11. It always happens right here at Village Hall. Parking on the street is best,
Yes.
but the department does a very nice job with that event, so.
And before I forget, also, we tentatively set the fire prevention open house for October 5th, time to be announced, which will be before the next meeting also.
Oh, okay, fire open house, got it.
October 5th.
October
October
5th.
5th.
Is that a Sunday? Is that a Sunday?
That is a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Oh,
We usually say 8:15. That's what we used to put on the
8:30.
sign last year. But 8:30, yes, but I know last year he had me put up 8:15, just to get people parked and able to stand where they need to be. So, yep, okay.
Did we turn that microphone on?
I think it is.
I did.
Yeah, it's on. I don't see any representatives from the police department this evening, so I'm gonna move on to Public Works. The board was given a Public Works monthly update. Does anybody have any questions for Chris on that?
no.
No? I just want to congratulate, it's not really congratulations, but thank Public Works. We've been doing a complete redo of Schilling Park toddler playground. It needed it. We had to pull out a bunch of things. It's been a little slower than we planned, only because materials we ordered did not come in a timely manner. So it's been kind of closed off for probably 3 weeks. It should open within a week. We're waiting for one more thing to come in before we just open it back up, but it looks beautiful. So if you haven't been to Schilling Park, the improvements are, it just looks lovely. A beautiful fence, beautiful, new mulch, new everything. And the guys, they did a great job, Chris. So thank them from everybody. It was
looks
very
great.
well done. Okay. And from there, I'm going to move on to public comment. So if you have a comment you want to share with the board, you're welcome to step up to the microphone and tell us who you are and what you want to share with us.
My name's James Gage. I live at 115 Prospect Terrace. Just wanted to see if there's any movement on that warehouse building owned by Mr. Thomas. What's going to happen to that?
There is. I'm sorry, I had to think about what you were talking about, but yes, they recently applied for a demolition permit. It had to go through the Department of Labor first, and it did that, and they got their permits through the Department of Labor, and with whatever they needed for that. And then we haven't processed the demolition permit yet, because it came in after our building code enforcement person was here, just this past week. So I would imagine that be, processed next week, and then they'll move on. I did have them make sure they put a safety fence around it, and they did that because they sent me pictures, because I wasn't happy that it was unsafe and kind of approachable by anybody, any child or whoever.
Was it a recent fence?
Yes, just last Thursday,
Okay.
maybe, I think, Thursday or
Because they
Friday.
had some makeshift fencing up there for a while.
I didn't know that. I had seen pictures without anything, so
Yep.
I talked to Mr. Cropsey as well as working with him, and I just said, you need to have something on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sent me pictures of a fence with no trespassing signs and all that. So I haven't been back up, but I'm sure the building inspector on Monday will check it out.
Well, you can drive in the parking lot of American Legion
Okay,
and see all you need to see.
okay,
All right,
all right, thank you.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, come on up. That's okay. That's okay. Take your time. You're
My
on.
name's Al Caruso. I live at 904 Heather Lane in Brando Meadows. I'm here because of a water problem we've had for the last 13 years. We have some other people from Brando here. We've lived in Brando for 13 years, and this is what we've experienced. Ice cubes with manganese in them.
Have you replaced the refrigerator?
This water filter was 1 hour after I changed the water filter and flushed the system. I put a new water filter in, and you can see what that looks like. This is the dispenser of our washing machine, which we had to replace because it was so plugged up. We have to do this every month. It takes us about an hour and a half to clean our washing machine, take it out, Q-tips, etc. This is just another picture of one of the dispensers of the washer. You can look at that. This is our kitchen faucet that every week or two, we have to soak in vinegar. And you can see the debris that comes just in a week or two.
So we've had to replace faucets.
Yeah. And not only that, the pressure in our master bathroom, which is at the end of the run, is very little. As all the other people here will tell you, our toilets are disgusting. We have to pumice them like every week. We just get debris. It's like this thick, and it's disgusting.
Show them the pipe and explain it, please.
Yep. This is the sprinkler system inside our condo in our master closet that had a leak. Would cost us $1,000 to have somebody come over and fix it. And as you can see, it appears to be from the manganese because it's all over. Just plugged it right up and the pressure was just too much and it blew.
And we have 9 more of those in our condo.
And we have 9 more, and all these other people. We've talked with Chris and Denise, our HOA president,
Right.
and we're kind of working on it, but we need an update of what's going on. It's just terrible. Any of you people have this problem with your water?
I do not.
I don't.
No,
Okay.
I put a filtration system in my house.
I mean, we have a whole house,
Whole house,
Yeah,
filter, and we
Yeah.
still have the problem.
Yep.
yeah.
and the filters are costing us a fortune.
So is there any kind of comment anybody can make of what, we could do about this?
Well, I do know that Chris had a meeting with your HOA president just this week over some of the concerns that were just brought to us.
Yes.
I know we've had some individual cases on that line in the past, but I have not heard anything to this extent any time, at any recent time at all. None of us have. So no one's actually brought it to us.
Some of our laundry.
I do know as far as the manganese, which we've obviously been very public about the fact that those wells have a manganese issue, hence the letters that were put out. We have been on that recently because the Gun Club Road well, which we like to use right now most of the time, has been down because it needed to be, I'm gonna say this wrong, maybe something with the pump, right? Chris, but the pump had to be replaced.
Well,
They were working there all day today.
Right.
I think it's probably almost done. It's not quite finished
See,
yet.
this has been a problem we've experienced for 13 years.
Yeah.
Not to mention that we pay almost double what the village pays for our water.
Yep.
And our water quality, I don't know of anyone in our condo that actually drinks that water.
Can't drink it, we have to heart.
I mean, when you see ice cubes with manganese in them, it kind of freaks you
Sure.
out a little bit.
And I know we're talking about, I know there was some flushing that needed to be done that hasn't been done there in a while, so it could be worse a little bit now, from what I'm understanding. Because there
I
was
guess
some-
that Chris made the agreement that they would do that on a quarterly basis.
Right.
Hopefully that works, but we have to have a plan that if that doesn't work, what we can do.
Well, we will be going off that well within, I'd say, 2 weeks. I'm just going to say that because I think a week, we're going to finish up fixing this, and we have to then flush the system, et cetera. Correct me if I get this wrong. But, and then we will be back on Gun Club Road well, which is the one we want to stay on. So that is where we should be going forward. I would say continue conversations with Chris. We're not going to solve it here. I would love to, but I'm not an expert in water. The water guys are, Larry and Chris, and our engineers too, of course. But maybe make an appointment to sit down with him and Larry especially and talk more about this,
Well,
what can be
we've
done.
talked with Larry, I've talked with Larry numerous times
Okay.
over the last years.
Okay.
And we really haven't come up with any solution.
Well, we'll have to work on it with having him and Chris talk to our engineers about it, because I don't want to give you an answer. I don't have,
So how long do you think that the Gun Club Road, the Brandon Meadow water supply will be used until the Gun Club comes
Gun
on?
Club was used last year almost solely. The entire year, we didn't use this, I guess, until probably, I'm going to guess January, maybe?
Okay.
I'm looking at Chris to see if he's not, he wasn't here at the time, but I think it was around January that it's been used more often because of some issues at Gun Club where now we've taken off the pump and had to replace it. So we're getting back on Gun Club, so that's the good news.
How about getting water from Gilderland?
So if you have, this year, for a year now, we've had presentations by our engineers here. We are applying September 12th, it's on our agenda tonight, one of the parts of it, for a grant to connect with Guilderland as an emergency backup, so that we have Gun Club, and then we have a backup, should we need it, we have Guilderland until we fix the manganese issue. The problem with the manganese issue is not that we don't want to fix it. We did a study with the University of Rhode Island. It went incredibly well, better than we thought. It treated the manganese, it took care of it. But then all of a sudden, we went through this study, and the chemical that they need to use is not being commercially provided. We cannot get it right now. So we had to put that on the back burner. That will be fixed sometime down the road. We're working now on the emergency transmission line. We're talking, it's a 2-year process, though, if we get the grant. It's $4.7 million. And as a village of 800 houses, that's going to be really tough unless we get some support. So that is our plan. Guilderland signed a resolution supporting our plan to connect with them. That was, I don't know, a few months back, I guess. They have it in their comp plan draft right now. So anybody who wants to help support that, because their last public hearing is September 15th for their comp plan, which currently says we want to support Altamont being connected to us should things like this happen. It would be helpful, because there are some people pushing back on that in the town, thinking they don't want to support us publicly. Not the board, but some people, I guess, have caused, some issues with that. Their June meeting was telling, I watched it just because I think they don't understand it. They don't understand we're not buying it from them all the time, but it is, we want it as our backup. So that is the plan. We have been moving on it, I guess every 2 or 3 months, we've had our engineers here doing a presentation about it. But what we can do is, in the meantime, if there's something they can come up with, that if there's something we can do differently, once we the Gun Club back on, if there's anything else we can do in addition to the flushing, which is we don't flush on your property. That was a private, thing for the system that's there. We got to make sure maybe we have to do that more often. Maybe that
Right.
has
Well,
to
I've talked
happen.
with Larry in the past, and
Yeah.
he said that he wants to do the flushing because even though Randall is responsible for it,
Yep.
he wants to do it so it's done right and there's no damage done to somebody who doesn't know how to do it. So
Well,
if we
well,
do get
yeah.
4 flushings a year, and it does help, that's great.
Sure.
But if it doesn't, what's the possibility of putting a filter system in the beginning of Brandel Meadows to filter the water going into the 72 condos there that we pay for, water?
I don't know. I can't give you an answer to that, because I think what we're even looking for a filter system for Brandel was 1 point something million dollars. I don't know. It's not something that we just have that we can say, hey, we have the money to put in a new filter system. They're exorbitant. They just are. We have to plan to
Could the
get.
Department of Public Works enter that and relook at that?
We can look at everything, absolutely. No, I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, I think we have to look at it, and see if once Gun Club is back on, let's, give it, I don't know you guys can tell me better what time it would take to see how the system changes over maybe 6 weeks, if it does. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
maybe we can do a test in several places, several homes, and see what we get from each side of this.
I would
This
think that it
grouping.
would take probably 3 flushings to get any, because this manganese has been building up in our system.
Sure.
Ever since we've been
Well,
there.
we should be able to see improvements, I would think. You know what I mean?
Right. I
as
think
we're-
like 3 flushings
Yeah.
should show some improvement.
It could. I don't know, but maybe it could. That may be a great solution. Because we have to do that for everything else too. We have to flush things, depending. So,
Could you get a hold of Denise, our HOA president, and give her a schedule of when that flushing is going to be?
I would have to talk to the water department first and work with them. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to overstep. I am not a water expert yet. Someday maybe. But Chris, I'm sure he is more than willing to. He's already met with her this week, and I know he's more than willing to. We can try to set something up after talking maybe with BNL about where we should, what some possibilities are. Because like I
But
said,
it's getting very expensive for us to replace
sure.
our appliances.
I'm sure.
Very expensive.
And when do you expect to switch over to Gun Club?
In about a week, maybe, or 2 at the most. Two at most, 2, to be safe, because it wasn't finished today. We had a group come in to work on it today, just to put in the new parts and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna say 2 weeks to be safe, because then we have to flush that out, we have to test it, water test it, flush it, all that stuff. So it's not just like turning on the faucet. But I would say within 2 weeks, that should be good.
And then they'll just shut down the Brandel?
Yeah, for now, yeah. That's where it was shut down before too. So when this all first started, when we first got the results, I don't know, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I'd say.
I'm guessing, but
Yeah,
yeah,
about that.
time flies. So, but definitely, he can keep Denise, right, posted, and can come up with something. Oh, you're Denise!
Denise is here.
I don't know Denise! Hi, Denise!
I didn't know you were Denise.
It was nice to see you.
If I can add a few things to
Absolutely.
this. First of all, Chris and I did have a long conversation about this. The flushing in the spring did not take place because the man who knew how to do it was quite ill,
Oh, okay.
along with his wife. So that never happened. We are actually getting together this Thursday, and we're going to do 9, 8, and 7. He's going to show me how to do it, so I'll become a plumber now, besides everything else.
Welcome to my life. Sorry. I
Whatever.
learn what you don't know.
No. But, yeah, it's been a continuous problem. It's not the same in every condominium that's over there.
That was my question. Which sections? Is it a certain
So,
section?
buildings 9, 8, and 7 are at the end of the run.
Okay.
Okay, then you have like a little Mary's Way that goes through, and then you have units 1 through 6.
Okay.
And some people have a little bit of an issue there,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing like what they are experiencing.
Okay.
We have a house filter, and we have a filter on our sink, and of course, we have the one on the refrigerator,
Okay.
which helps.
Yeah.
But we don't have any issues like they do. But we will be doing the flushing. If that brings out a lot of stuff, my hope is before it gets too cold in November, I'm going to do another one, especially in 7, 8, and 9,
Okay.
and try to hit 1 through 6 after I learn how to do it. I should say myself and my husband, because I'm not doing this alone.
There you go.
Oh, my Lord. But another issue that was brought up was the price that is paid for this water is quite extensive. And that's a senior community, and a lot of people don't have a lot of money that live there, and that would include myself. When I lived in the town of Glenville, we had a graduated system, which made it much easier. We had 30,000 gallons you could use. You would get charged $40 for that. but you also paid about a $300 town tax for water. So $40 plus the 300 be like $340. If you went over 30,000 gallons, every 1,000 gallons you would pay $2.35 for every 1,000 gallons afterwards, which makes sense. Over here, if you use 9,999 gallons of water, and then you go over by 1 gallon, I ended up paying an extra, where is it? $277 extra for 1 gallon of water.
Yep.
For 1 gallon of water. I went over by 301 gallons, and I had to pay $227 extra, which is really not unreasonable. It should be a graduated, like, if you go 1,000 gallons over, then you pay X amount of money per gallon usage, which would make it a lot more reasonable for, especially since we pay double over there, what you pay here.
Do you want me to, you're the data king, you want me to?
Yeah,
I can talk more about it, but.
Yeah, I can't speak to the history of who created the pricing scheme, but one of the things that I've had on my to-do list, and unfortunately it's taken longer to get to, is we know from budget time that our water system does not take in enough money to cover expenses.
It doesn't.
So we need to figure out a different way, and so like what you're saying also sounds like a flaw. But in general, when I hear people complain about the cost of water, they don't realize that people only pay per use. They don't have that town tax for water. We don't, none of the village tax goes to water per se. Like, if you're in Guilderland, you pay a water tax based on the cost of your property plus usage. We don't do it that way. It's all based on usage. So that's why it's hard for people to compare what they're used to paying elsewhere when they move here. That's just one of the things that's been bothering me. This is another interesting situation I wasn't aware of. So long story short, I want to look at seeing if we can find a different way to charge for water. But unfortunately, the fact is right now, we don't take in enough money to cover the expenses for the water system.
Just increase it across the board for everybody that uses the water to get up to a break-even point.
We could, and that's what we've done in the past, is every once in a while we
We
raise
have.
rates, but people are also sensitive to raising rates, because again, not everybody has enough money for it. Yeah. Right, so that's why I want to take my point is just cranking it up every couple of years maybe isn't the best way to do it. So I want to try to look at it, how do other municipalities do it? That's one option, we could just raise the rate. We could, and that's another thing we could do too, is maybe we do figure out a way to take somebody's appraised value into account. But I can't remember how much you guys got me, like 5 or 6 years worth of data. So we'll look at how much people are paying, what their appraisal values are, what their usages are, how much does it cost, all those kinds of things. So that's just one thing that's not going to solve it
Yeah,
now.
and-
Doesn't get into the
yeah.
history of the 2X
It
for
doesn't.
outside.
Well,
I
it
don't know
doesn't,
that.
but it also is, the village is not required to give water outside the village limits. And this is a big thing with the village residents. We know right now, outside, we are not accepting any more outside applications for water connections, because we set capacity with a water, policy in 2013 and revisited it recently, that we only had so many gallons to go outside. And, some residents, rightfully so, will say, well, why it's our water, we don't have to give it to outside users, and you're raising our rates up. So that's why outside users generally, they pay the double fee to have it.
So how did Thomas come about, how was he able to get a well down the road here on Brandon that is not equipped to handle our water? Jeff
How-
Thomas was the one who initiated the well that is bad.
No, he didn't. No, he did
That's
not.
what I was told.
No, he had not, no. Actually, he came in after the fact. The village had a year, way back when, where there was an issue with, I think it was heat and drought. And Tim McIntyre was here at the time, and he said, listen, we have to find some more water. And they did, and it wasn't us, it was 2003 and 4 is when this happened. I did attend meetings back then. Kate, you were there as well. And the Trumplers sold this site for the wells to the village. After that is in the town, Guilderland gave permission for Brandon Meadows to be permitted to be built. And then the people who provided the water got very upset. And this is public, I'm not telling you anything out of school, this is all in the paper at the time, and it was only because they wanted it for the village to have this source, and they felt like we were giving it all, away at the time, and, so after much negotiation, took a couple of years, and, a small lawsuit, we settled, everybody got happy. At the end, we made it, because we also were looking for some revenue as well. So it was kind of a balance, you guys wanted he wanted water for the site. We had a well, how much could it handle? That's how it all came to be. Before that, outside users still paid double. We had Gun Club Road. We had Up on the Hill, out toward the orchard. I'm trying to think of what direction that is. So that rate didn't get invented for Brandon Meadows. That was in place. And what Nick was talking about is, again, we don't bring in enough revenue for the cost of the water system we have. And the comptroller's office is very specific about, you have to have the rates that support paying that. You can't take it from someplace else. We're not allowed to do that. So, Kate, did you have a?
I just want to be really clear
Mm-hmm.
that people may not understand that Randall Meadows is on the line, it is outside
Yeah.
the village limits.
It
Which
is.
is why they done it. It's the same as true for anybody else who's connected outside the village limits.
Yeah, I guess it was at the time, and I wasn't here, but it was way before my time, but I'm assuming the formulas were created to know that we have to pay for this system. And so, what do you do when outside users want water and you're giving them a privilege of coming on and helping their property values and everything else? We do what we can, we have over the years. We're not doing it anymore right now because we can't. And so, water is very valuable, honestly. And we're at capacity almost on the inside as well. So, it is something we're always looking at, and this was something he just started this past year. So this, almost a year, so we'll work on that too.
I have talked to a plumber who does a lot of things within the Gilliland School District, and he works over
Okay.
here at the elementary a lot. And he did mention that it was probably feasible for us to put a filter in where the water goes in.
Okay.
And it probably would not be that expensive to help cut down on the sediment. But I would not progress with that if I found out that you were going to hook up to the Guilderland water and,
I want to be clear about one thing, because
Right.
this is where it gets confusing. We are not hooking up to Guilderland to get water from them unless it's an emergency.
Emergency.
It is very specific, because they don't want development along the country, acres from here till Gilliland Center.
would that mean that in the future you wouldn't use the two wells down on Brandel Road because you have that as an emergency, or?
Unless it's testing and it's low, because this manganese kind of just happened, and it's a natural thing, but the levels just changed, and they've been low in the past too. Yes, I guess for the most part, we're gonna use, Gun Club Road is our main well. We do put those on in emergency, but if we get this approved in a couple of years and we say, listen, this is testing too high, Gun Club needs a break, that would be the time we would obviously try to talk to Guilderland about, using it. But we have to come up with an agreement. There's nothing spelled out yet.
Otherwise, why would we do it? If
Well,
we're
we
gonna
wouldn't
use it?
spend this much money or
Right.
try but we're the only municipality in Albany County that's not connected to another water line. We need to have a safety backup.
Right.
For these exact reasons, that you're pointing out. And it's awful. I feel for you. I did not know the extent of it. It's never been brought to the board itself. So,
Well, if you could revisit the pricing graduate, the way
Yeah.
you price, like to use 1 gallon and having to pay that much money
Sure.
is ridiculous. But also, we're going to work on our end
Yep.
to try to get these issues solved and see if it works.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it will.
yeah, and Chris will stay right in
and
touch with
then
you the whole
he
time.
can report back to you,
Absolutely.
and we'll be in touch all the time.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay,
No,
thank
we're
you.
here. Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Hey. Oh, they're racing.
Thank you. For the benefit of the board and for other folks, I want to thank you for the number of times the board has talked about our plumbing infrastructure, our water, and just make a note that it's covered in the meeting minutes over the years. I think it would be helpful, though, because you know how many times I've come up in front of you to say, how are we doing this? I think it's really important for people to know to do what you asked and contact the Guilderland Town Board to support providing that emergency backup. I have been worried about that, as you know, for years. The fact that we have no emergency backup at all, and that there's something that citizens can do to support that is really important. So if you could maybe say a little, sorry to tell you
No.
what to do, Carrie.
Oh, it's all good.
And sorry, I'm Kate Preventer, on how they can do that. That would be really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing. Any kind of letters to the Guilderland Board, Supervisor Barber, and they have been supportive of us, but I think if they had these materials to share with their audience, the September 15th, they have their last comp plan hearing. I was told by their planner told me that last week. So I said to him, I'll make sure I come to that one. It's the last one before they maybe adopt it in October. So I just thought it's good to be there, because there were a lot of questions at the June meeting. And some of the information was incorrect. So if anybody, yes, if you support that, that would be great. You can even email them. They have emails right online. So, come on up, sir.
Good evening. I'm Charlie Gilio. My wife, daughter, and I live at 703 Heather Lane, Brandon Meadows. I do a lot of driving, and I don't know if it's my imagination or not, but I think every road except Brandon Road has been repaved. Is there any indication that that road is going to be repaved?
On our schedule, our end of it, we do this end, but Guilderland was going to be doing the road, this was a couple of years ago, and we hoped, they would do our end with they have their own equipment. It's not on our plan this year or next year, but if we have a little space to do our end of it, which is, where are we?
I know.
This end?
I know. Yeah.
We could probably do our end of it with probably next year. I would think it would fit in with next year's roads that we have. They haven't all been done, I promise you. We have a rotation, we're trying to get to them. We only started this about, 5 years ago of making sure to repave all these roads. So we're getting there, because this year we have 3 that we're still waiting on our pavers. We've been kind of put off, so.
The road is terrible.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's absolutely terrible. And it's a narrow road, and we're.
Are the potholes in Altamont's end mostly? Or are they
Yes.
on-
Yes.
Okay, so that's just something when we do our patching this fall, getting ready for the streets, we can add that to it, for sure. And if we can get there sooner for the holes, if there's, we can address those.
Well,
We get the extra traffic from the fair.
Sure.
Scottish games and whatnot.
Yep.
Now, the line is basically right after the little bridge there?
Yes, Van Evera is in the village, and the house across the street from it, yes. Arlington's not ours, so from Arlington on is Guilderland.
Okay.
Yep.
From this 146 up to Arlington belongs to Alphamont?
Guilderland. That's all the town. That is all the town.
The village went from, up Randall to Arlington.
It does. Brandel to Arlington, but not 146 Arlington.
146.
Oh. Oh, well, you meant,
Yeah, Main Street.
well, Main Street's state, though, that's not ours, so.
No, but it's
Yeah.
just the part of Brandon that goes. to
Yes, off of
146.
Main, yes, that part. Yeah, from Main Street to Arlington, that's us. Sorry, I got backwards in my,
I know this is pie in the sky, but there are also no sidewalks on that road. You have a lot of people walking up and down every day. So who do we talk to about,
that's a town. I would go with the town. All that land, the fairgrounds land, all of that is in the town
of Guilderland?
of Guilderland.
Okay, including that repavement for their part of the road?
Well, at this end, it could be ours, but I think, honestly, I don't know that we would put in a sidewalk that's that short. I don't know that we could in that space. It would all depend on easements and stuff. I'd want to know that they're doing it, and we could add on and do something jointly, maybe, in the future. If we can get them to commit to doing a grant for something like that. I mean, we could do a joint grant, so we could do our little end, and they could
Yeah.
follow it through.
We're not terribly successful on these, right? We've
we
been
are
trying
not.
for
The
Gun
sidewalk-
Club Road for,
Gun Club Road has failed the grant process several times, and that's in the town. We got one finally for Maple Avenue. That has been needed for some time. It took, I think, 2 tries, maybe 3, 3 tries. So we'll try. You're talking, it's large. They're usually
I know. And I know
You
it's a
know.
quality of life issue for those of us who live here.
Oh, absolutely. They're important.
Sidewalks,
We- you know,
sidewalks are important.
Yeah, it is important. It'd be nice to connect it to what we have in front on Main Street.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, sure. Anybody else? Oh, well, can he go first? All right, Jim, no?
I just was curious, how many streets within the village, not Brandon Road and that, does not have sidewalks?
Mine doesn't.
All this Euclid, Schoharie Planks, both of them, Sand, Thatcher. No, and a lot of people Sand didn't want them either way back when. Maple Avenue Extension, that's what we're working on next summer will be put in.
My street.
Any of the developments don't have sidewalks, any of the newer developments, Prospect,
Terrace hasn't had sidewalks
right,
in decades.
right,
Yeah.
And there are a lot of young families up there right now.
yeah, yep,
But you also gotta realize that there's commercial traffic
there is,
at the end of Prospect Terrace.
yep.
So I feel for you guys down there, but
Yeah,
right here where we are now,
and
I've lived here for 73 years, so.
yeah. No, we have, as a village, and this is before me with Jim gone and myself, we have worked really hard over the last 20 years installing sidewalks. We've had a sidewalk program. When we get the grants, we put them in. Our own guys, DPW, they did all of Orsini Park. They did all of, Lincoln themselves. We do it when we can, when we get the money to do it, but it's quite the endeavor, and it takes a long time. So we're trying, and we have made, the data, I couldn't tell you, but we have had put so many in my 20 years here. And then now the road, making sure the roads are paved. My whole thing has been infrastructure since the time I started here. And that's still my goal, and every year we have improved on it. And we're trying to, so people understand, the cost of them is very high, and we have worked through that. So,
Absolutely, but in the village, we do have sidewalks
we do,
that go nowhere.
right, yeah,
And the other thing is talking about street improvements, walk up Prospect Terrace and see what you think.
yes, oh no, trust me, that one and Helderberg are on that list. Yeah, it's rough. And Grand Street's no picnic either, and they've been waiting for a long time, but we have another project happening, so we didn't want to do the street yet until they finish their project,
I
so.
got poles in front of my house.
Yes, yes. Kate, did you want something to come up?
I have to say that during the development of Brandon Woods, when one of the issues that came up was the issue of the developer providing sidewalks.
Right.
That did not happen.
Yeah, that's usually our committees here, we ask them to do that, and that's usually a thing they do in Guilderland, but they did not come with that development, which is usually, we put the onus on the people who develop things to do that. Even like the recent houses that are being built over on Schoharie/Western Avenue, there was, although sidewalks aren't gonna go there because we already have them, he is giving some money for a sidewalk for our fund to go and be used other places too. Because somebody who grew up here recognized the importance of that, so we're trying. But there's still more to do. We always have a lot of work to do. Can you come on, do you mind coming up to say something? I'm sorry. People at home can't hear you. I'm trying to repeat things so they understand it, but. Sorry to make you come up, but,
I'm Teresa Camiso, and I live on 15 Marion Court in Altamont.
okay,
And I've lived here for over 40 years. And Gun Club Road is a walker's paradise and no sidewalks, and very dangerous because it's a cut-through. So people, even though it's 30 miles an hour, people are going a lot faster.
yep,
And when you have, strollers, people running, it's a hazard. So sidewalks would definitely benefit that road.
yes, I walk it every morning, that
you
road,
know.
and it's probably one of the most dangerous treks because there's nowhere to jump. The town, that is a town road completely.
Oh, it is?
It is a town. They have put in for a grant twice on that road. They did it last year. Sad for them, they didn't get it. We got it for Maple. So, but I'm sure they will resubmit again when it comes up. It hasn't come up
I
yet.
just would hate
Yeah.
to see a
No.
tragedy happen.
No, they agree. Jake Crawford is one of their board members, and Amanda Beadle. They really did support and work very hard to get a sidewalk, and it's a rating game. We don't know how they pick them exactly, but the projects get rated, and,
And the other thing is, half of my road is Gilderland.
It is.
And half is not.
it's odd.
So my side got paved, but now we have the Gilderland side that's not
Well, we
paved.
did the circle.
You did the circle, but you didn't, the rest of it is not done.
We didn't do it yet because we only had so much money, so we started with the circle last year. We'll do the rest of it when we can fit that in. So even though it's Gilderland too, we intend to pave the rest.
Perfect.
But we get CHIPS money each year. There is only so much CHIPS money to use for paving roads.
Okay.
So we add it up, we show them all the roads we need, and when it gets to that amount that we can, how many we get done. So last year there were 2 roads, or maybe it was 2.5, we'd have something retopped, and then we did at least the circle. So we will get the rest on there.
Which was nice, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we will get there,
appreciate
yeah.
that, but the other part is in bad condition.
Yeah,
And I
Yeah.
think, if I could say something.
sure, I'm sorry, I'm
I
like hogging the
think
microphone.
that what's really important here is that when we have budget meetings, no one comes. When we have board meetings every month, no one comes, and
we're happy
what
to
you
have you.
have is
Except for Kate and
valid.
Judy.
And we'd love to have you here, but the budget tells you, we aren't just throwing money out the window. We have a limited budget, and we do the best we can, but we have to apply for several grants to get any of this stuff done, and it's hurry up and wait situation. I myself, my road didn't get paved for like 10 years, and it finally did.
She got it last year.
I got it last year. So I just don't want everyone to think that we are, you guys are suck, blah, blah. Because we have these meetings, and when we had our budget meetings, it says, this is what we're trying to do for sidewalks. This is what we're trying to do, for the fire department, for the water department, for what streets in the village are gonna get this. We realize there's potholes here. We can't do sidewalks until we do that tree thing.
Yeah.
We can't do sidewalks on some streets until we get all the new lighting. So I think there's a disconnect. Our meeting minutes and everything are right online for everyone to see, and it would be so helpful if people, I find it frustrating, because no one comes unless they're upset about something, which is valid. I'm not saying that what anybody says it's valid, but I didn't know. I didn't know your water was gross until today.
All the town water department over this for 5,
Thank
6
you.
years.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think, the problem is, you live in the town of Gilderland, but you get Altamont water. That right there is the problem.
Right.
So that's, and that issue goes way back to when
So
the,
that's why you guys really have to press Gilderland to get us some relief.
and we
Yeah.
have done that.
We gotta keep it up.
But when you guys bought Brandle Meadows, did anybody, when you guys were buying that, tell you where your water was coming from? That you were
much it
gonna
was-
pay double taxes?
Yeah.
See, that's Jeff Thomas's problem, not ours.
All right.
Yeah,
It-
let's,
I'll try
It
to,
frustrates me, to no end.
Well, it frustrates us also.
yeah, I'll be unrealistically optimistic, right?
There you
So,
go. Go ahead.
one of the things that I think we could do, and we talked a little bit about the comprehensive plan that's coming up and
Yeah.
and making it clear to the town. I want to echo what the mayor said about Amanda and Jake about the sidewalk on Gun
Yeah.
Club Road. They have heard that loud and clear. I dislike when people come to my door and try to sell things because I have dogs that bark their heads off and it's like obnoxious. The only people I look forward to talking to is when the town board candidates come around and they want to know what are the issues for Altamont. And I have a list, and I hope you all have a list too, so if they ever knock or you run into them,
We've never knocked.
oh, well then that's more.
That's even more for you
Yeah,
to talk to them.
well, yeah, so then the best I can do, right, when they come to knock on my door is I tell them about the sidewalks, we talk about, roads that need to get paved that are around the town. Best I can suggest do is to contact them. Like us, I don't think they have a ton of people that come to their meetings or reach out to them. So every time they get an email from a resident, it carries the weight, at least in my mind, of, 10 or 15 other people
does, yeah.
that haven't bothered.
Still allowed solicitors, that's my area.
That could be why, yeah. I should try that.
We should try.
well, we will continue to work and talk about the water for sure with the water department and see where we, see what some of these things are that maybe we can try, see how the flushing works out, kind of keep some data on that. And hopefully it'll improve as we change the wells and all
There's a
that.
meeting set up with Chris, or no?
Chris met once already with Denise,
Right.
and they're gonna
you're
talk
gonna meet
more
again?
and continue to talk, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right, we good? All right,
Could someone communicate to our HOA president so they can communicate to us what's
Chris will,
going
yep,
on?
yeah, because he is the water expert along with, the other guys that do the water on the system. So I will let them relay what's going on. And, I mean, not that I wouldn't want to, but I don't, I am not a water
Yeah, well, they're
expert.
certified guys. They're certified
They're
guys.
certified and they have to be, yeah, so. Is there anybody else that has something else they want to share? Come on up. It feels dim in here.
We're in the Brandon Meadows also.
Okay,
And we're fairly new, about a year.
Thank you.
And we come from
Welcome.
the Syracuse area,
okay.
all right? Now, if we had I'm talking about potholes and road condition. We had a pothole, we call up the highway department, or whatever, and in a while, they'd fix it. They'd patch the pothole. Here, it seems to be like unending, it never fixed. I don't understand what the difference.
Well, I don't know that anybody has called, and I could be wrong, called about a
Oh, yeah,
pothole, did
called.
you? All right.
Yep.
So keep one thing in mind, that's an excuse. We do potholes at certain times. We have switched, so we had a retirement in our department, somebody who ran everything, and we have just changed over to poor Chris, who I feel bad has been here just a few months. So, we will, I know we have some patching to do coming up, so we'll make sure that we have.
Substantial patching on that,
The what? The what? The.
substantial patching on that,
Well, we do around the village.
the entrance road.
We do. We have, I mean, it is, it is substantial everywhere. We definitely have a lot
I
of
mean, it
it.
seems like a simple matter, just have a truck, as we see back where we lived.
It does,
Truck comes by and has the mixture, puts it in, times it, and it's done.
Yeah.
Here it goes on for a year or more. I
well,
don't understand that.
I have 5 gentlemen on staff that run both a wastewater treatment plant, a water plant, all the parks, all the
Oh, yeah.
roads. So water main breaks, flood in June 2nd, all the work they had to do because of all the stormwater flooding that we had. So it's not that they don't want to do it, but 5 people, it's not like Guilderland who has a vast array of staff to do this. So just to go to get a truck, we don't have everybody, we're small. Not everybody has a CDL, that, it's certain people have to
Yeah.
do certain things. So we do try.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we will
mean-
try. Syracuse is another world. That's
Well, it's not, it's the suburb of Syracuse. but-
my aunt lives there, so it's a
yeah.
nice place.
But I think your point is that like a town will have more resources.
They have
and
way more
can
resources,
Be
right?
able to pull that out, like Michelle was saying.
Yeah.
We have to budget down to the dollar kind of thing,
Yeah,
so we.
and just have limited staff to do these things.
Can't you hire somebody in the field to patch the holes on contract basis, like
All
for,
those things cost money, though, that's the problem.
won't pay enough taxes?
You don't pay us any taxes, actually.
No, I know.
I hate to say that, but we don't get any taxes from
I'm just
Brandon.
afraid of ruining my car.
Yeah, well, we will do the best to look at our end of Brandel and see if we can do something with that.
All
So,
right, whatever.
Looks like we're almost last on the list.
We do. Okay. Exactly how far out of Altamont is Bridgeville Meadow? Like a half a block?
probably, I'm just guessing, sure, from Arlington down to you. So, yeah, is that, they're right there near Arlington, sort of?
I don't mind paying for water, but when it's water you can't use,
I understand, yep,
it's like I'm muddy down a rat hole.
yeah. No, we hear
That's
you,
true.
for sure.
It's gross.
Yep, we'll see what we can do. That's the, without an engineer here, I don't want to give any, I don't want to play one on TV. All right, do I see any more movement? I don't see anybody. I'm going to jump down to item 1 on the agenda. All right. So consider approval of the treasurer's abstracts 4, 5, 6, 7. We all had a chance to review the bills for this month and sign. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Michelle, I heard. Who was second? John? Sorry, I might have missed you. John is second, and roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor.
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farrakhan?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 2 is consider an approval of a certified bond resolution Authorizing the submission of the grant application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation for Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, that's the WIA grant. This is due on the 12th. We approved the cost of it, but this is a more formal resolution that they want to include possibly with the application and all that. So could I have a motion?
Can I have a question?
Well, yes.
Why don't we have the date on here?
The date of what?
You just said the 12th.
I just said the date. I mean,
You don't need
the
it?
grant is, no, you don't need it. The grant
never
is
mind.
due
Tony,
on the
shut up.
12th. We'll probably send it in a little bit
ahead.
earlier. Okay.
And again, this is for the emergency interconnect.
This is for the, this is the grant for the emergency, yes, interconnect. There you go.
Right, thank you.
All right, motion for.
So, second.
Sandra, and is that you, Nick?
Sure.
I wasn't watching.
That's right.
Second, and roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farrakhan?
In favor?
Thank you for coming.
In favor.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem. So happy to have people here joining us.
Yes.
Mayor Denine?
Oh, in favor. I didn't know you got to me. I thought we got
didn't
by
get to
that.
me.
Sorry, distracted. All right, we good? Okay. I'm going to go to item 3 on the agenda, which is consider authorizing Mayor Denine to sign First Amendment to option and lease agreement and memorandum of option and lease with Reservoir Road Solar. If you looked at your materials, we have been working on a solar project for probably the last 4 years. It finally got its permits through the town of Knox last year. There was I don't know, it's been very slow moving, but it is still moving, so that's the positive part. This is our contract sunsetted, so we have to have a whole new agreement with the same terms in it as far as what they get for a year, like $6,500, and it moves on. They are expected to start construction next summer.
Nice.
So it'll take a year, but next summer. So anyway, that's what this is. It was just our agreement ran out. We have to have a continuation. So could I have a?
So moved.
Michelle, and second?
Second.
John, a second. And roll call, please. Michelle,
Trustee
John.
Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farrakhan?
In favor?
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Consider authorizing Mayor Denine to sign a 5-year lease with Charter Spectrum ground lease for 68 Sturgis Road, contingent upon approval from Village Council. Every 5 years, we work on a lease agreement with Time Warner, or in this case Spectrum, I think they changed their name now.
Yep.
For the site, the building they have up on our Reservoir Road property. This is, we're still working on the terms, but we have agreed to the 5 years, which is what it was prior. We had 2 5 years with 5 years extension. That is what I asked for again, and it seems like we're getting that. So as soon as it comes in, I'll have our council review it, and then we'll be good to go if you authorize me to do that.
Awesome.
All right, so motion, Nick says so moved,
I'll second.
and Sandra seconds, and roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farrakhan?
In favor?
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Let's see, I just make sure I didn't skip it. Item number 5 is consider approval of a request for village sewer for a single-family dwelling on 148 Bozenkill Road, Altamont, tax map 3713-1-2, per request of Cinia Edwards. Capital charge for the new service connection to sewer is $5,000. Chris Arzamanian, Superintendent of Public Works, has reviewed the application and recommended the connection contingent upon receiving insurance information from the contractor. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Sandra, right? Sorry, I wasn't looking. And second.
A second.
All right, Nick. Nick was second,
That was
sorry.
Nick.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farrakhan?
In favor?
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. Consider authorizing Mayor Denine to sign letter authorizing RBC Wealth Management to issue a 2024 service award, one-time payments of $700 to William Cleveland, David Cowan, and William Ernst, Altamont Fire Department members. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Michelle, and second,
I'll second.
and Sandra. And roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farrakhan?
In favor?
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine?
In favor. 7 is consider approval of request from Helderberg Indivisible to hold Constitution Day celebration on September 17th, 2025, from 4:30 PM to dusk at Orsini Park. The rain date would be on September 20th, 2025. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
John?
Second.
And Michelle is second. And roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farronkov?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 8 is consider request of Altamont Community Tradition to hold Winterfest in the village on December 14th, 2025, from 12 to 4 p.m. Could I have a motion for that? Michelle? And second was Sandra, okay? And roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farronkov?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 9 is consider request of Phil Carducci to hold a Fall Classic 5K at Bozenkill Park on October 5th, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Could I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Oh,
Ooh,
they
that
can
was
have it.
All
You
right,
can have
John, she's giving that one to you, and Michelle can be second. Is that okay? Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. And roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farronkov?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. What am I adding before we get to the next one, Nick?
Yeah, I'll add a motion
there you
to
go.
consider request of Altamont Fire Department to participate in the following events: Historic Altamont's kiosk dedication ceremony on September 27th, and their fire prevention open house on Sunday, October 5th, per request of Paul Miller, Chief. There's a lot of seven, I don't know, that threw me off. It sounded weird. Does
All
that sound right?
Sure.
All right. Two cents, okay.
All right, can we have a motion for that?
Oh, I made the motion.
Oh, you made the motion. I didn't hear
I'll
you say
second
that. All right, Michelle would be second then. And then roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
Oh, in
That's
favor. Sorry.
Trustee Farronkov?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor.
I realized why it was throwing me off. It's the same day as the run that we just approved.
Yes.
October 5th. That's why I was like, wait a second, I'm just, Karen.
Oh, I get it, yeah, you're right. Consider changing the board meeting date from October 7th to October 8th, 2025. We did that, I will be at a Public Works conference with some other staff members, so I'll be home on that day and we'll be able to be here that evening, so.
Fair enough.
Is that very good? Okay, can I have a motion for that?
So moved.
John, and second?
Second.
Sandra? And roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farronkov?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Item 11 is consider approval of the board minutes from July 22nd, 2025. Could I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Well,
You can have it.
Sandra and Michelle, will you be second?
Sure will.
Michelle will be second. And roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farronkov?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. And item 12 is consider entering into executive session to receive privileged advice from legal counsel from village attorney that's outside the scope of the open meetings law. Could I have a motion for that? Michelle is first, even though she gave me just a hand.
Yes, so moved.
And second will be John.
Sounds good.
And roll call, please.
Trustee Serafino?
In favor?
Trustee Ganance?
In favor?
Trustee Farronkov?
In favor.
Trustee Scally?
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. So we have to go out and have, if you're here when we get back, we'll see you then. Otherwise, have a good evening and thank you for coming tonight.